Machiavelli's The Prince marks a key turning point in Western political philosophy. It was written in 1513, while Machiavelli was retired from active political life. Before that, he worked for the Medici family in Florence. He's often seen as one of the great dark figures in Western thought. In some ways, he's like the Darth Vader of philosophy. He embodies all that is evil and unholy. In a sense, he's the spiritual opposite of someone like Marcus Aurelius. Machiavelli is a secular, worldly thinker. Plato warned us about men like him. He's the kind of person who seeks only to satisfy his desire for political power. He turns ruthlessness and treachery into principles. That's what makes him so skilled at them. He's not treacherous or faithless just once in a while. He's that way all the time. He's built it into a system. Machiavelli's writings go beyond The Prince. He also wrote historical works, like Discourses on Livy. He studied Roman history deeply. His works serve as a handbook on how to be bad. They teach political treachery and the pursuit of power. For Machiavelli, the ultimate good is gaining political power. He doesn't care about the means. Whatever works. He's one of the most practical men. His ideal politician is someone like Cesare Borgia. Cesare Borgia appears often in The Prince. His career was quite remarkable. His father was Pope Alexander VI. Of course, we won't dive into how that happened, but he was the illegitimate son of Alexander VI. His sister, Lucrezia Borgia, was a harsh woman. She spent much of her time poisoning friends and rivals. Cesare Borgia didn't let family ties block his quest for power. His older brother was chosen by their father for political greatness. Cesare conspired against him and killed him. Machiavelli finds this admirable. He says it warms his heart. To him, it shows someone finally sees through the lies of conventional morality. For Machiavelli, we live in a jungle. It's a totally amoral universe. It's free from scripture, revealed religion, or the will of God. Only the will of man matters. In this way, Machiavelli breaks new ground in political philosophy. His teachings may seem evil, but we ignore him at our peril. There's a dark, sparkling brilliance to his ideas. Like black diamonds, his conclusions are horrifying, yet hold a grim truth. We may not agree with all of it. Still, politics is often an ugly, immoral place. Practical politicians can't dismiss Machiavelli entirely. He wants to free us from childish guilt about political morality. In politics, there are no rules, just like in nature. He restates a key theme in Western political thought. In Plato's Republic, Socrates faces Thrasymachus, a sophist. Thrasymachus argues justice is the advantage of the stronger. Whoever has the most force makes the rules. Justice is what they say it is. If the Nazis win, their orders are just. If the Stalinists win, their commands are just. If Machiavelli or the Borgias win, it's the same. Power to coerce defines justice. Thrasymachus sees no moral order in the world. Plato critiques this view in the Republic, yet its echo lingers in Western tradition. Machiavelli boldly claims there's no moral order. He echoes Thrasymachus from the Republic. We live only in nature, with no metaphysical guide for good and evil. Power, force, and brutality rule. You adapt or you fall. Those are your choices. Machiavelli aims to teach us to be tyrannical. Think of Thrasymachus in the Republic. He has a tyrannical soul driven by passion. He sees reason as a weak excuse for goodness. Both Machiavelli and Thrasymachus reject metaphysics and morality. In a world of darkness and betrayal, the only way to succeed is to strike first. They say this brings happiness and goodness. Donald Trump wrote The Art of the Deal. You could call Machiavelli's book The Art of the Double Cross. He explains treachery with examples from history and his own time. He shows crime pays. Goodness, he says, is a waste and leads to ruin. In ways, Machiavelli's project mirrors Friedrich Nietzsche's. It's a re-evaluation of all values. He flips Christian and Platonic views of righteousness. What we thought was good becomes evil. What we thought was evil becomes useful or handy. Machiavelli wrote many works. The Prince is his most famous. It's a short, 90-page book. Most great philosophers write endlessly. Look at Aquinas's Summa Theologica. It goes on and on. Not Machiavelli. His book is quick and practical. Joseph Stalin loved The Prince. He kept it by his bed. It's easy to see why. It shows how to be an effective tyrant, not a moral one. That's for old ladies and children, he'd say. Nobody takes that seriously. His ideas sound cynical, and they are. Yet there's a practical truth here. If you're fully virtuous, you may not be an effective politician. I'm not sure I'd want a leader as kind as Marcus Aurelius. It might harm us as much as help. But I certainly don't want a leader like Machiavelli's Prince. That would surely harm us more. Before writing this book, Machiavelli served the Medici family in Florence. They were key players in Italian politics. He advised them, but they were driven out. With them went Machiavelli. He retreated to retirement. Here's a man, bright and intelligent, but deeply frustrated. Reading The Prince, you feel his urge to return to politics. He hates the dusty library books. They bore him. He wants to control people's lives. He craves political power, and once he has it, he wants more. Socrates called this the tyrannical man's thirst. It's never satisfied. No matter how much you gain, it's not enough. You're like someone always hungry or thirsty. Machiavelli is one of history's great unsatisfied souls. Being an armchair critic frustrates him even more. He dedicates The Prince to a Medici. The introduction is flattering and adoring, yet it's as cynical as the rest of the book. It warns the prince, the would-be tyrant, to avoid flatterers. They're dangerous, he says, to a clever man like the Medici. Then you wonder, do I want this man on my side? Or on someone else's? It's a tough question for a prince. Machiavelli gives examples in The Prince. He explains how to rule a land you're born to. If your father, the king, dies, succession is simple. People accept it. As a new ruler, establish fear. You can count on it. Machiavelli says being loved is nice. It's handy for a ruler. Love isn't good in itself, but it's practical. If people love you, they cause less trouble. So, cultivate love. But fear is what Machiavelli truly values. You can rely on it. If you must choose, make people fear you. Love is uncertain. Fear is sure. Being feared is key. Being loved is next best. A prince can't afford to be hated though. Hatred brings rebellion. The goal is to take power, keep it and gain more. It's nice to inherit a kingdom. Few are that lucky. Machiavelli notes his own father wasn't a pope. That's a hurdle. If birthright fails, usurpation works. It's a favorite of his. Get close to the throne. Flatter the king or prince. Become indispensable. Then strike and take control. His moral world is that of a wolf, a predator. Machiavelli's ideas have a horrifying brilliance. They match much of what we see in politics daily. The flaw? It stops us from being social creatures. He wants us to betray everyone, above and below, to feed our lust for power. That lust grows endlessly. That's why he admires Roman history. It's full of such figures. He thinks they're great. He sees 16th century Italy as weak and divided. Small, warring cliques block true glory. He admires Cesare Borgia for his virtue. Not Platonic virtue, but Thrasymacheian virtue. It's the skill of lying and betrayal to gain power. We need this virtue, he says. His book builds it. But this virtue fits a predator, not a rational person. In the Republic, the tyrant's soul is clear. Desire drives it. Reason serves power, sex, or wealth. Machiavelli agrees. Desire comes first. Reason bends to it. He wants the virtue of a leopard, the hawk's guiltless killing. Hawks don't regret killing sparrows. That's their way. Cruelty is ours. We live with it or die. Now consider Italy. It's fragmented and in crisis. Machiavelli calls for a break from old ideas. Scripture, virtue, morality. He wants a practical leader to lie and scheme to power. Control one city-state, then conquer others. Unify Italy. Build a new Roman Empire. Bring glory and human greatness. He rejects heaven, hell, God, and forms. Only the present matters. How do we get what we want now? His virtue, his ideal soul, and his political order center on the ruthless prince. This prince is a lion and a fox. As a lion, he faces threats with force. Machiavelli loves military solutions, but being a lion isn't enough. You must be a fox, clever, sly, deceitful, confuse and defeat your foes. That's realpolitik. This man rises to the top, over corpses, without guilt. No God judges him. No standard applies. He succeeds or fails. This nihilism makes ego a principle. The Renaissance shifts politics from God to man. Man-centered politics is ugly and bloody. It serves only human desires. There's no ultimate good. Machiavelli shares a wise example. A ruler conquers a city-state. Chaos lingers in the land. He sends his lieutenant with full power. Go lay down the law, he says. Kill my enemies, make decrees, coerce them, frighten them, rule in my name. If they complain, say I back you. If they resist, kill them. For months, this cruel lieutenant rules. Mass executions, tortures, and spectacles terrify the people. Fear works, but hatred grows. If you kill a man's family, he'll seek revenge. Machiavelli scoffs at forgiveness or charity. That's for the weak. Here's the fix, he says. The prince asks the people, What do you think of my ruler? A charmer, right? They're horrified by the cruelty. That night, the prince acts. He orders his trusted guards, take my lieutenant to the square, cut him in half, leave him there. Morning comes. The people see their hated ruler in pieces. The prince decrees, I heard he was cruel. He usurped my power. My justice and mercy demanded this. This is the double cross. Send a man to do dirty work, then kill him, blame him. The people cheer you. That's Machiavellian. Layers of deceit serve one goal. Power by any means. He wrote The Prince, 90 pages for inspiration. It's ruthless and gripping. As a handbook, it's unmatched, but it breaks us as social beings. Imagine you're a Medici. Machiavelli dedicates this to you. He warns of flatterers who might betray you. Would you hire him? Your staff might vanish. Accidents happen. He'd turn on you. Why risk it? He's unfit for any team. He's only for himself. If a ruler hires him, he might kill and frame another. If he rules, you're expendable. No one has value but as a tool for his power. Plato, ethics, and the contrast. In the Platonic sense, Machiavelli's conclusion seems logical. If you choose physical, anti-metaphysical politics, linking politics and ethics gets tough. Plato's Republic achieves something great. Politics becomes ethics on a grand scale. What's good for the soul, reason, spirit, desire in order, suits society too. Rulers, the rational ones, lead. Guardians, the spirited, assist. The bronze people below get their desires met. For Plato, politics and ethics align perfectly. This holds for metaphysical thinkers and Christians too. But take a physical, single world view of life and politics. Ethics and politics split apart. We'll see this in David Hume's theory of justice. If you want moral politics, you notice flaws. Politicians take bribes, they cut corners, they dodge duties. Your complaint rests on a metaphysical idea, however faint. Admit it, you're a metaphysical believer. If not, beware. You might slide to Machiavellianism. We shift from society to a state of nature. Machiavelli's nature is worse than hell. It's real and now, with no escape. It's part of being human. He offers a secular salvation, this worldly gain. No other world exists. No judgment or moral order awaits. The best we get is Homeric, military, treacherous virtues. These are Rome's worst traits. He lifts them to human happiness. It's a sad temptation. To avoid it, rethink politics and ethics. Consider what they mean for reality. They hint at metaphysics. Metaphysics shapes philosophy. It ties ethics, virtue, and experience. It links the soul and political order. Our lives hinge on a choice. Do we chase this world's lure or hope for a better one? It's not a clear answer. Machiavelli gives one solution to these deep questions.